since a lot of people have been asking me this also, new students at Mindworkzz, and also YouTube people have been asking me about this. What should be the priorities if we are starting CAT prep now, and given the fact that we are in a new month in February, I thought I'll talk about the key priorities. I mean, three things. I thought, okay, what are the top three things that I would like to remind anybody who's preparing for CAT 23 and starting in February. So that's the agenda of today's session, and I'll take questions maybe once I finish off this thing. Once I finish the live broadcast, or once I finish the topic for the day, uske baad I'll take questions. So keep your questions towards the end of the session, and I'm still waiting for the session to warm up with more people joining in. And I mean, if you're starting in February, effectively you have a 10-month window, 9.5-month window, which is approximately 42 weeks window of preparation. And if I think about what are the top three things that come to mind for a person starts in February, I think the first one, which is actually consistent across whether you're starting in January or November or March or April, the first agenda is the need for consistency in your preparation. So what I see a lot of people doing, the mistake I see a lot of people making, is that they start preparing and then they lose steam after 6 to 8 weeks. So the first 4 to 6 weeks, normally when people start preparing, they're pretty motivated and are able to push themselves. But 6 to 8 weeks down the line, for some people it happens between 8 to 12 weeks of preparation. They lose the agenda, they lose the focus of preparation, and that's one thing that you have to avoid at all costs. That your preparation has to be consistent. Now, by consistent, I don't mean that you should be doing an equal amount of work every week. It's not possible that across a 42 week period तुम्हारे preparation में कोई disruptions नहीं आएंगे, etc. So I'll come to your questions. Bank P और CAT वो सब मैं आता हूँ थोड़ी देर बाद किशन. But it's not possible कि 42 week के period में तुम कुछ कर रहे हो and there's no disruption at all, and every week is smooth and you have 40 hours of preparation every week or 30 hours of preparation every week. ऐसा हो नहीं सकता है. So what the focus should be, or what you should define, is define four kinds of week. When you're talking about your preparation, define four different kinds of week. You define the heavy CAT preparation week, or a week in which you are very pleased with your preparation. You define a normal week. You define a low preparation week, and then you also have a zero preparation week. So the key when you talk about consistent preparation, the key is to avoid zero preparation weeks. So let's say you are a working professional, and for you a heavy week in which you are able to do a lot of work on your CAT prep is, let's say, 20 to 25 hours. So in that case, a week with 10 to 15 hours will be a normal week for you, and a week of 5 hours, 5 to 7 hours might be a low week for you. So you define, or maybe you can say 8 to 10 hours will be my low week, and the zero week will be of course a week in which you don't do any preparation. So you define the four kinds of week that you have. For a person who's in college, maybe the numbers will be slightly higher. Maybe 35 hours in a good preparation week. You can actually put in 35 to 40 hours. In a normal week, you might put in 25 to 30 hours. In a low week, you might put 10 to 15 hours, and a zero week, you might be between 0 to 4 hours. So you define these four kinds of week, and when I say consistent preparation, I mean that you have to avoid the zeros. You can have a zero once or twice in every 6 to 8 weeks, but it should not be 3 consecutive 0 weeks or 4 consecutive 0 weeks कि कुछ नहीं किए, because that has two kinds of problems. And this is the first point I'm making for those of you who are entering the live session right now. So there are 3 points to remember that I want to talk about. The top 3 points that come to mind when you talk about CAT prep. So the first point, as I mentioned again, is that you have to have that consistency. And the problem with 3 or 4 0 weeks together, एक shot में अगर 4 0 weeks तुम लगातार कर देते हो, suppose it happens to you after 12 weeks of preparation or 10 weeks of preparation, और 3 हफ्ते उसके बाद या 4 हफ्ते लगातार तुम कुछ नहीं करते हो because of whatever reasons, you just went off the boil, तुम्हारा एग्ज़ाम स्टार्ट हो गया था, कुछ हो गया था, ऑफिस में बहुत प्रेशर हो गया था, वट एवर. So you have four weeks of zero cat prep after 10 weeks of preparation. So what happens is when you try to restart after 4 weeks of zero, you would have a lot of things that you would have done in the first 10 weeks would have got wiped out, and you will take 2-3 weeks. 10 weeks का recovery करने में तुमको 3 हफ्ते और लग जाएंगे. So imagine your timeline. Week 0 to week 10 you did work, and then 4 weeks you did not do any work, and then 3 weeks you took to recover what you did in week 0 to 10. So what has happened at the 17th end of 17th week, your preparation is like you should have had at the 10th week. So you literally on the 10th to 11th week. So you're back by around 6-7 weeks because of a 3 or 4 week zero week structures. So you have to avoid that, and you can have a couple of, I mean, if you are very busy with something, तो दो एक 0 week रख लो और 2 low week before and after that कर दो, where you're doing at least 5-7 hours of preparation. लो वीक्स में तुम डिफाइन कर सकते हो कि मैं आगे नहीं बढ़ूंगा लेकिन पीछे का रिवाइज करता रहूँगा. दैट यू कैन डू, राइट. बट कंसिस्टेंसी एंड बीइंग at it is very important. It's fine that you are not doing much in a couple of weeks here or there, but not zero, but a little bit has to be done every week. There has to be forward movement every week. So it's like you're driving from Delhi to Mumbai and it's 1200 kilometers. So in good hours you might do 100, but the bad hours will also come, and you should move ahead. You should do at least 10 hours, 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers in the bad hours also of your journey. So that's the first point. In your timeline you have to mark your consistency and the need for consistency as your number one thing to remember. And consistency का second दूसरा पहलू है, the second aspect of consistency. The second aspect of consistency is that your consistency has to be across sections also. So if you have a preparation timeline, let's say first we are measuring consistency on how much time you're giving. Now let's say you have a 0 week on data interpretation for 6 weeks consecutively. So what happens is your DI preparation has, I mean, let's say you prepared for DI for 4 weeks, कुछ काम किया तुमने, उसके बाद 6 week लगातार तुम्हारा DI preparation रुक गया था. So what happens is on DI you are back to week 0, because to recover what you did in the first 4 weeks you will have to take 2-3 weeks more. So that's the second aspect. When we talk about consistency, there has to be a consistent timeline that you fix every week, but also consistency on the subjects. So one of the key questions that I always get from people is, do I need to do every subject every day? The answer is no, you don't need to do that, but there has to be some forward movement in every subject every week. So if you define your preparation as a 40-week timeline, if you're defining your preparation as a 40-week timeline, those 40-week timeline में there has to be 40 weeks of movement, of skill movement in quants. There has to be 40 weeks of skill movement in DI. There has to be 40 weeks of skill movement in LR, and there has to be 40 weeks of skill movement in verbal. I mean, if you are skewing your preparation too much, doing too much quants and doing too much verbal, like a lot of people do, what happens is you underdo your DI and LR, and that's one of the cardinal mistakes people make. So that mistake that people make is cardinal, because जब तुम एग्ज़ाम में जाके वो 40 मिनट DI सॉल्व करोगे, उस टाइम तुमको DI के अलावा जो तुमने DI में काम किया और LR में जो काम किया है, उस काम के अलावा जो वर्बल और क्वांट्स का काम है वो हेल्प नहीं करेगा वहाँ पे. तो उस 40 मिनट्स में तुम्हारा वही काम आएगा जो उस 40 मिनट्स के लिए तुमने तैयारी की है. So you have to be consistent on each of the sections. And when you talk about consistency, the third point then, when we are talking about consistency, the third point is, what does consistency mean? So the consistency is not measured in terms of number of hours you put on a weekly basis. You should define the amount of work you want to do. So in quants you need to process around 150 to 200 questions a week. That should be your thumb rule if you're starting now. Your data interpretation processing, by processing I mean a mix of assisted problem solving and self problem solving. It would also mean that you tried a question and could not get solved. So that can be part of the 200 or questions that you're doing in quants, right? It can be part of the questions. So you might have a week output as कि assisted problem. इस week में assisted problem solving मैंने 40 question देखे, और 200 क्वेश्चन मैंने ट्राई किए सेल्फ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग में, और उस 200 क्वेश्चन में से, या 160 क्वेश्चन ट्राई किए, 40 असिस्टेड देखे, 160 क्वेश्चन खुद से ट्राई किए, उसमें से 100 बने, 60 नहीं सॉल्व हुए. सो दैट इज़ अ गुड, दैट कैन बी द काइंड ऑफ रिपोर्ट कार्ड यू हैव एट द एंड ऑफ द वीक in quants, right? And data interpretation or logical reasoning mein, the thumb rule is around an attempt of around 12 to 15 sets per week. So kareeb, I mean, the idea is in a 25 week period, 20-week period, you have to reach an experience of around 300 sets of solving. तो 300 सेट सॉल्व करने का एक्सपीरियंस हो जाएगा तुम्हारा पहले पहले 20 हफ्ते में. यू आर वेल ऑन योर वे टू मास्टरिंग द सब्जेक्ट, राइट? सो दैट्स, those are the three major points. Consistency, and of course in verbal, there has to be around, verbal mein you can define in terms of hours, you can define around 5 to 10 hours of reading every week. The reading timeline that you have every week should be, especially if you're weak in reading and understanding, your language has been weak, or you have a problem, you are okay in language and you've been convent educated, but you have a problem when you come across those 60 word sentences. And I hope you are watching my read and learn series. I hope you enjoying that. I have done two episodes on that. I'll be doing one very soon. I mean, I think the third one I'll do tomorrow or day after. And if I get more traction on my videos, I am open to doing it on a daily basis also. So do help me reach out to more people by spreading the word and commenting. Most importantly, I think you, rather than talking to people and spreading the word more, it's more important that you comment on the videos so that YouTube recognizes that there's something important happening on the channel, right? So that help I'll want from you. So that's about it, what I wanted to talk in this video. So those of you live, if you have any questions, you can now go ahead and ask the questions. I'm on my phone, so keep the questions short so that I mean, CATs are bad, 83, 67, 66. You can still target CAT, Kishan, just because of bad CATs. ऐसा नहीं है कि तुम किसी अच्छे भी स्कूल में नहीं जा सकते हो. आजकल तो there is a lot of there are a lot of B schools, a lot of this thing. Shubham, can you rewrite that this thing? I was able to read only half of your question. It's a long question, so it's slightly difficult. So if you can write it in two parts, that's also better. I'll be able to read it better. Strategy for repeater with 96 percentile. Okay, repeater strategy. We'll come to. I'll come to the other questions, one question at a time. Repeater strategy for CAT 2000 for CAT 2023. If you already have a 96 percentile last year, the strategy is basically to cover the entire portion more. But in fact, not once more, do it twice more. So what your target should be कि 2 से 2.5 महीने के अंदर, अभी अगर स्टार्ट कर रहे हो तो 2 to 2.5 months के अंदर एक राउंड पूरा प्रेप का कर लो, स्पेसिफिकली द एरियाज इन विच यू आर स्लाइटली वीकर, उसको कर लो. और दूसरा, सेकेंड थिंग यू ऑल्सो डू इज then you plan a second revision also, and then you start your mock test by April, May, so that you have your testing experience. Please remember, CAT is about two things. It's not just about preparation, it is also about performance. So you have to manage your preparation as well as your performance. So start your mocks etc around April May. DILRs per week, DILR hours मत define करो. I told you 12 to 15 sets का exposure every week. Maybe 3 to 5 sets of assisted problem solving every week, and around 15 sets of self problem solving. It'll take you around 5 hours, 3 to 5 hours per week, maybe, on DI, and the same amount in LR. So I think if you convert the work into hours, it'll come to somewhere around 8 to 10 hours a week, right? So other questions? Any other questions? Shubham, तुम्हारा question वापस नहीं आया? And there are a lot of questions in between which are coming. जो अभी 28, should I pursue MBA at 5 years drop? It will give you a restart in your career, Amarjit, so you can do that. Taking drop of 1 year, don't take a complete drop, Vinamrata. I think you should do something along with that. If you can't, for some reason you can't take up a job, then or you don't want to take up a job, then at least do some courses, etc. Yeah, build some passions. So that's something that you should do. As psychology student, start as early as possible. First year में start कर दो. That's enough. Yes, Swati, my quants book should be enough. My DI and LR book should also be enough for those subjects. And those books you have to supplement with taking enough number of tests, mock tests. So that's what you have to ensure. कि mock tests भी काफी सारे लो along with those books, right? Okay. What else? Daily, how much time I will not tell you. There's no limit to that. It's about how much work you want to do in a week. तो week का work define कर दिया, उसको तुम daily में divide कर दो या weekly कर दो. But typically मतलब it depends. मतलब working professional 20 घंटा भी दे दो तो बहुत है. Yeah, even if you're an OBC, you should focus on this thing, on profile building. या कैट प्रेप इज मोस्टली सफिशिएंट फॉर जीमैट. जीमैट में थोड़ा सा मॉक टेस्ट अलग से लेना पड़ता है, और जीमैट स्पेसिफिक टाइप के जो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं उसको थोड़ा सा अलग कर दो, अलग से कर लो. न्यू एडिशन ऑफ बुक्स कैट क्वांट्स इज नॉट कमिंग आउट दिस ईयर. क्वांट्स का लास्ट ईयर का रिविजन इज सफिशिएंट, एंड DI and LR are going to respectively come in April and May, April end. So I think DI early May में तुम लोग को मिल जाएगा. We have preponed it. Normally हम लोग जून और जुलाई में जून में लाते थे, तो इस साल प्रीपोन कर दिया दो महीना, बिकॉज people used to complain कि by the time they get the book it's too late for most people have already started for CAT. So that's why we have preponed to April. The DI schedule is for April, and quants is the LR is for May. My book does not contain video solutions. इस edition में कुछ videos आने वाले हैं, but otherwise video solution नहीं है. Hi Tio, Tio's learning perform. प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग का एक वीडियो है, मैं उसको पोस्ट पे फिर से रिलीज करवा देता हूँ कल. ठीक है, ओके. 89, 73, 75, 99 प्लस ही टारगेट करो शुभम. नंबर ऑफ मॉक्स, आई थिंक यू शुड प्लान टू टेक एटलीस्ट 40 to 50 मॉक्स. 40 to 50. ज़्यादा बेसिक्स है नहीं कैट में. कैट क्वांट्स का बेसिक्स सिर्फ करना पड़ता है, और कोई बेसिक्स है नहीं. MDI Gurgaon versus NMMS Mumbai, they're very close to each other in terms of levels. So it's a toss up. You can decide on whichever you want. Look at kind of faculties, look at your convenience, look at the fee structure. Both of them will give you similar opportunities, so you can actually go ahead and decide to join one of them, right? For finance, बहुत शिफ्ट करता रहता है सब चीज़. आई थिंक मोर और लेस 50-50 कॉल है. ठीक है, चलो. सो एनीथिंग एल्स? हाँ ठीक है गणेश, एनमैट के लिए एम करो. आई डोंट थिंक यू शुड एम ओनली फॉर दिस थिंग. आई मीन वाई यू नॉट डूइंग LRDI राइट नाउ? 6 महीना क्यों करोगे? आई मीन थोड़ा करना स्टार्ट कर दो. 2 घंटा पर वीक स्टार्ट कर दो, उतना टाइम रहेगा ही तुम्हारे पास. ठीक है. प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग पे देयर इज अ वीडियो ऑन द चैनल. I'll release that on the post. I'll put a post about that tomorrow. ठीक है, चलो. Thanks a lot everybody. Master University, I would take a new IIM only because of the brand and long-term aspect of that. Master Union is giving you a good start. That's good to hear. But long-term 25-30 year career में वो क्या कहाँ ले जाएगा? I mean, of course, एक बार तुम पास आउट कर जाते हो, उसके बाद it doesn't matter much कि कहाँ से किया हो, because what matters more is the work you do. So you can focus on that. I mean, before you join, talk to a few students. I mean, when you take a call about a B school कि किसको join करना है, it's almost like a marriage, because you will be that B school will be attached to your name for the rest of your life. So once you're down to the shortlist of the last 2-3 colleges, then I suggest that you go and spend a day at the college, at the campus, in the hostels, talk to people, see whether you're liking what you see, liking that experience. And when you do that at Masters Union versus, let's say, an IIM Trichy, there might be some people who like Masters Union more, some who like IIM Trichy more. But in your case, you have to see what you want, whether it suits you or not. Thanks for that. It does encourage me to do more on the reading series, but I'm slightly disappointed by the number of views I'm getting. Maybe there's something wrong with the channel's algorithms or whatever, because I am quite sure that the content I'm putting out is actually decently uh, educative. So I am going to continue this reading series because it's easy for me to do. I have a few articles from economists which I've already read, and I want to present that. So maybe tomorrow I'll come back and do one more. Chalo. Thanks a lot. Good that you keep giving me that feedback. Chalo. Bye bye then. See you. See you everybody. Thanks for joining in, and bye bye. Chalo. Bye bye.